What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday. Hope you're doing well. So, there's a potential new team that might be emerging as a trade suitor for the Yankees that happens to have an infielder that might need a change of scenery. That team is the Pittsburgh Pirates. Um, and before I get to it, I have some details, by the way. Jeff Hoffman signed last night with the Blue Jays. Congratulations to him. 3 years, 33 million. However, he did have a bigger deal with the Orioles, and he did reach an agreement with the Baltimore Orioles. I think it was 3 years, 40 million or 42 million, and the Orioles flagged his medicals. Something popped up that they didn't like in his medicals that nixed that deal. So he wound up pivoting and signing with the Blue Jays. So I don't know what came up in his medicals, but that fell apart with the Orioles, and it was almost $10 million more than this deal. So, but he's heading to the AL East. I would imagine the Phillies are going to try to replace him in some way. They still have Carlos Estevez who hasn't come back yet. Tanner Scott's still out there. Maybe they'll make a trade for a reliever. There's going to be a lot of moving parts, and the free agent market for relievers is starting to materialize too. So, if you're a baseball fan, you want to be kept in the loop on everything, especially when it comes to the Yankees. You know what to do. Hit the sub button, turn on your notifications. I'll take care of the rest. Okay, and I thank you for it. Now, back to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Ke'Bryan Hayes. Yep, Ke'Bryan Hayes, 27-year-old infielder. Okay, he has his warts, right? He's imperfection, um, but he is a decent hitter. He's 27 years old. He's got elite defense, and he's not a free agent until either 2030 or 2031. So the controllable years thing is there for Ke'Bryan Hayes. And again, he's a guy that can use a change of scenery right now. And let me just pull up his contract so we can break down the details here for you so you know exactly, because he got extended by the Pirates not too long ago. A couple years ago. Like I said, he's a first-round pick. He was a 32nd pick overall, and he's represented by the Belangi Group, so he's not a Scott Boras client, thankfully. But he is not a free agent. Yeah, so he's going to make $7 million every year. 25, 26, and 27, he'll make $7 million. And 28 and 29, $8 million, and then there's a club option for 2030 at $12 million. That's it. And then he's an unrestricted free agent 2031. So you could have him for 5 or 6 years here on the relative cheap, right? He costs fractions on the penny, and also would allow Jazz Chisholm to move back to second base where he's a plus defender if they want to do that. So I don't know what it would cost to get him, but maybe a Marcus Stroman for Ke'Bryan Hayes trade might make some sense. The Pittsburgh Pirates need another pitcher, right? And the Yankees need an infielder. And maybe Ke'Bryan Hayes could represent the fit. And again, maybe surrounded by a better lineup here. And maybe they'll work on his, his on-base percentage and his average a little bit more and so on and so forth, and get some contact skills out of him. Extract it a little bit more, I should say. So give me your thoughts on that. Ke'Bryan Hayes. He might be another option here for the Yankees. And again, like I said, he's 27, multiple years of control. He's an elite defender, which the mantra's essentially been, improve the defense, which the Yankees have done this offseason, right? Luis Arias would have not have represented that. I get it. Neither would guys like Paul DeJong or Jorge Polanco, some of these other guys. I get it. So, but every guy that has been considered so far and talked about has his own skill set. Luis Arias had 200 hits last year. He might have been the only hitter in baseball with 200 hits. He's a 323 career hitter. So there's that. A 3-time batting champ. There's that. So like I said, his bat would help the team more than his glove would hurt them. But you never know. Now that we know yesterday, now that arbitration numbers have been figured out for most players, Arias is one of them. Maybe we'll have a better idea then. Maybe the Padres were waiting until they figured out what his arbitration number was going to be before deciding whether they move him or not. Because they're in a position where they need to probably move him and Dylan Cease. They got to clear some payroll. So, and they're just in a financially rough spot. So Arias could still happen. But in the meantime, if defense is the goal, then Ke'Bryan Hayes represents a legitimate fit. And let's pull up his offensive stats here. Okay. And again, young, dynamic player. Looking to get younger, right? He's a career 258 hitter. Okay. We had a career 13.4 WAR as well. Now, last year, let me pull the stats up here. He batted 396 at bats. He batted. Let me see here these stats. Keep his ads. He batted 233, 283 on base, 290 slugging. So not sexy last year at all. OPS was 690. He's got a career OPS of 698, right around 700. So he obviously wouldn't be here to bring the thunder in the bat, but he hits anywhere from 20 to 30 doubles a year. So the contact is there. He steals some bases, steals anywhere from 15 to 20 bases a year too. So he adds a little bit of that as well. His career high in home runs was 15. It was 2 years ago. So he's all around decent contact hitter, but he has an elite. If he's competent with the bat and elite with the glove, that's going to be an upgrade over what we had last year. So Brian, and again, controllable years. If the mantra right now is to not add more contracts, maybe they can do a swap here. And even if the Yankees threw in a couple of million to make it somewhat, reasonable for the Pirates, the Pirates would only be locked in for this year and maybe next year. For Stroman, the Yankees would be locked in for another 5 years or 6 years with Brian Hayes. So the commitment would be longer. It wouldn't be as robust annually, but it would still be longer. So Brian Hayes for Marcus Stroman, it seems like a pretty decent trade, right? Again, a lot of other trades are going to be proposed. I still expect some other players to be moved. I expect Luis Castillo to get traded. I would watch out for the Orioles. They had a kind of underwhelming all season with their pitching. I would watch out for them. And they've got a lot of prospect capital that they can give up for a guy like Luis Castillo. Since they've lost Corbin Burns, they replaced him with Charlie Morton. They brought in someone yesterday, but it doesn't replace Corbin Burns. It just doesn't. So I would watch out for them when the Luis Castillo market. But back to the Yankees. I mean, the objective is to get another bat here and get another arm or two for the bullpen, preferably lefty. So they're looking in that. I know this. And I really don't think they're going to. I think Cashman knows this too. He generalizes. He's not going to rule anybody out. And, he doesn't do that. He doesn't leak information. So, I don't think I highly doubt he's going to go with DJ or Oswald Peraza or Oswaldo Cabrera as their starting spot for second base or third base. It just doesn't make any sense. Brian Hayes, that's actually a logical fit. I don't know if they can make it work money-wise, but he's another logical fit. And again, new names keep coming as potential targets for the Yankees. And I think he could use a change of scenery. I think he would be surrounded by a good lineup here. And I think his skill set would be used relatively well here as well. And if you have him at third, you have Volpe at short, and you have Jazz at second and Goldschmidt at first. That is makings of an elite defensive infield. Super elite defensive infield. And if one of the goals is run prevention, there you go. That's as good of a run prevention infield as you're going to get right there. So, but give me your thoughts one way or the other. Obviously, if anything else comes out, you'll get it. Okay. And I pointed out yesterday about the little detail in the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes that I don't think many people knew about. But it's amazing how the trolls are just out there outraged at the possibility that people are saying that Roki Sasaki might not go to the Dodgers. Right? You could take it, but you can't dish. You could dish it out, but you can't take it, huh? Saying why would he go to the Yankees? Blah blah blah. Because we think the Yankees have a shot. Not predicting him to the Yankees, but they have a shot. If he goes to the Dodgers, so be it. If he comes to the Yankees, so be it. Okay, we're not going to waste our time trolling you guys like you do to us. Waste of time. So, but give me your thoughts on this one. I think it's actually a decent idea. I mean, I'll take him over Polanco. I'll take him over DeJong. Obviously, Brendan Dunneman's not really happening. And again, there's a couple of names yesterday that were not able to reach agreements on arbitration. Brendan Dunneman was one. Lars Nootbaar is another. Kyle Tucker's another. Imagine having to sit there and tell them why you're not worth the money that you're applying for, and having to have that conversation and go back and forth. So, I'm a little perplexed that those three guys weren't able to reach terms. And even Mark Leiter was not able to reach terms either for the Yankees. So he could be a trade piece too. He could be one of these pieces that goes from with Marcus Stroman to Pittsburgh for O'Brien Hayes. Could be. Just a thought. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you next time.